High-low dressing is not just salad dressing for bipolar people. High-low dressing means mixing high-end designer pieces with lower budget or mass market pieces. Think of it as Marc Jacobs meets markdowns from Target. By mixing the two, you can produce stunning style results and many compliments. Now, the only question is how to get our hands on some designer pieces to really make this makeover happen. This video series is called Haute Wheel, and we will explore how to pull off high-low dressing and how to get the lowdown on low prices and get haute style for hot prices so we can begin sprinkling in designer pieces into our wardrobe. Step right up, folks, and spin the wheel. High-low, can you go? High-low, can you go? So again, this is what high-low dressing is. So you can see there we have a skirt for $420, and for many of us that's going to be a little bit out of our budget, right? But you can make it extra chic by pairing it with something super cool like this NY Pizza t-shirt from Target, only $14.99. This in essence is high-low dressing. Like I said, many of us, that $420 skirt is out of our price range. So what we need to do is figure out how can we score some of these designer pieces so that we can start doing high-low dressing. So let's see, here's the Haute Wheel. Where will it land today? What are we going to learn? Used clothing stores. Yes, this is a great resource to learn how to score designer duds at a discount price. Okay, so we're going to go over how to do that. This episode is all about used clothing stores. So let me show you some things that I found at used clothing stores. So I have found a pair of Prada ballet flats. What you'll find too is many of the used clothing stores, there's many different names. We'll go over what the different ones can be called, but some are higher end, meaning they only have designer pieces, and others have a mix of them, and some are really just kind of thrift shops. But I found great deals at many of them. Like I said, these Prada flats that I found were a great find. I've also found designer handbags. Many of the stores that I visited, whether they're like traditional thrift stores or more higher end one that deal just in designer stuff, have these handbags at a discount. So this particular one is the brand Dimoni. It's a Spanish brand, and I was able to score a really beautiful purse for a relatively cheap price compared to what it traditionally would have sold for. But they always have, all the stores that I frequent, they always have designer handbags in stock. So how can you find these used clothing stores and start having these finds for yourself? And yes, it can be a little bit time consuming, but sometimes you just have to get in that kind of mood to feel like browsing through things, and it's really exciting when you do have these great finds. So first, how do we find the used clothing stores that are near you? So of course, we're going to start with Google. Just type in used clothing store, and then you want to type in your city. So you could go and San Diego and San Francisco, and you may even do your zip code, okay? So you're going to look for that. Then you're going to get a list of search results like this with a list of different stores. So you can see there's Buffalo Exchange. That is a very popular chain store, so they have many of those all across the country. You see Thrift Trader showed up. And there's even more than this, so it's not just the three. So you can see down here at the bottom of the screen where it says more places, you can click on that and it'll bring up even more. So Google would be where I would recommend to start to find these used clothing stores. Okay, next you can go to Yelp as well. So you just go to yelp.com and you go to find used clothing, and then you would do near, and you would type in your city or your zip code. So Monterey, California. Okay. Let's see what pulls up. Okay, you see the map over there. You see the arrow there pointing to all the stores that are near you. And then at the top of the results will be ads. So these aren't necessarily things that meet your criteria, but you can see some of these relate to like clothing, okay, based on your search results. But what you want to do is look below the ads and actually see the results that are showing stores near you. Okay. So for this example, we've searched for used clothing stores, but as I mentioned, they go by many different names, and a lot of times it indicates what kind of goods that they have. So used clothing store, there's thrift stores, and a lot of times they will have many different pieces. You may not be able to score as many designer finds there, okay? Consignment shops, a lot of times those will have higher end designer pieces. vintage clothing stores, again, you can find great finds here, and you can find classic pieces. And some of the most unique things I found were at vintage clothing stores that I get the most compliments on. And you could also search for resale clothing. So these are all things you can go to Google, type it in, go to Yelp, type it in, and see what's available near you. They also do have a number of online retailers that specialize in, say, vintage clothing. And you want to find ones, they have people that make replica of vintage clothing, and those will come up in the search results, but there's actual retailers that have a practice of actually going out and scoring these different pieces and then turning around and reselling them online. So you want to look there as well. So let's go again. So you had the basic concept of a high-low outfit, but let's say you find a great used clothing store near you and you find this amazing skirt. It is an Yves Saint Laurent vintage skirt. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? So high-low dressing. So does that mean you have to wear a YSL top with that? No, it does not. You can take a top from a store like romwe.com and it's $11 and pair that top with that skirt. That is the essence of high-low dressing, something high-end with something more mass market. And again, it's an unexpected pairing, and because you have this higher end piece with it, it makes the whole outfit look a lot more expensive as well. And then you just add simple accessories. You see we did basic high heels, we added a ring and some very fun earrings to this outfit. A great high-low outfit, a great look. So for this series, we're doing a scavenger hunt. This is going to allow you to practice and find all of these great resources. So for this one, you have to find used clothing stores near you. So I went on to Google, I went on to Yelp and looked, and I did used clothing stores, and I found out there were 5 near me. Okay, so you have no excuse. You found out the ones that are near you, and just set dates on the calendar and go have fun. Go grab a smoothie and then just wander through the store and find out what sort of finds you can have. I love spending an afternoon doing that. I usually end up going into the dressing room with a pile of stuff, and then when I go to check out, I'm always surprised because then the tab comes up to like $100 and you've gotten like 15 things. So it's amazing. You'll fall in love with it too. So, but this is part of the scavenger hunt. Go find out how many used clothing stores are near you. To download this document for our scavenger hunt that we're doing for this series, just use the link below the video to download the scavenger hunt paper there that you see on the screen and get to filling out the items and get to incorporating these designer pieces into your wardrobe. So that's it for this episode of Haute Wheel. I hope you enjoyed it and learning about how to find used clothing stores near you. See you on the next episode, and where will the wheel land next? Thanks. Bye.